Hi guys, and welcome to this new lecture. This lecture we're gonna do some project with 3D, and we are going to do this cube and animate the cube. Well, you might think this is too difficult. Actually, it's not. It's pretty simple, provided that we learn how to use all the methods, the techniques, the anchor point position, and all the attributes that we have used. So we need to put them all together so we come up with this cube and make things as easy as possible. The key to good animations is not complicating things, is making them easy. And to make things easy, you need more thinking than, moving keyframes and F9 and easy ease and stories. So we are going to start doing this cube. After we finish from this cube, I press tilde to get you back. We are going to have the challenge of making this animation, because you take the previous cube that you have done and start rotating it. I create the plan there. This is a solid layer, dark gray, to show you how they are rotating in the same plan. Now it's just a matter of learning how to use the axis X, Y, Z and how to position your layers, and the animation itself won't be that hard at all. In fact, it's just getting to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. Now, let's dive in and start creating our animation. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to create the cube, of course. I will create a new folder, first of all. I will call it course. So when you download the file, you have the demo and you have the course. Inside course here, I'm going to create a new composition. So I'm gonna make it HD TV 720x25. 5 seconds will do for now. We can make it longer later. So I have this composition and I want to create the size of the cube. I will click and create this rectangle, press shift and make it maybe 200 by 200. So I will come to rectangle here, rectangle path. Let's make it 200 by 200. We could make it anything we want, but it really doesn't matter. Then I want to center it. So I will center it in the middle of the composition for now. That's okay. We have our center. We have the stroke that is inside and outside the rectangle. We don't want that because we want to use the 200 by 200. So what I will do, simply I will come and add an offset path and make it -5, because my stroke is 10. I'll make it -5. At this point, all my stroke will be inside the rectangle, which is 200 by 200. Fine. Let's rename this one and call it, for example, cube, because this composition will hold the main cube. Let's pre-compose the shape layer, because later on we want to put images and so on. I will go pre-compose and call it, for example, cube front or side front. So this is the one I'm gonna replicate to create all the sides. Coming to side fronts here, of course I have the whole composition. I don't need all of it. I'm gonna trim the composition now using its size. So the square is 200 by 200. I'll make the comp 200 by 200. Now I have a perfect square inside a perfect composition size. Cool. Let's go back to cube. What we have is only the pre-comp as side front. I will take side front from the project panel and duplicate it, and for example call it left. So I'm gonna take it to the left. Let's take left and drop it inside the timeline. So left now is on top of side front. Fine, I need to move left, so I need to move it to the left, of course. I need to move it this way, but I need to move it, if you notice, 100 for the middle and another 100, so it's gonna be another maybe -200. That's it. It has moved -200, but now I need to rotate it. So I'll make the two of them in 3D. That's no problem. And open here the rotation. Before I start rotating, I will use the pen behind to put the anchor point just on the side. Cool. Then I want to rotate it on the Y axis. I will rotate it. Okay, that's it. So it is 90. I will come to the project panel and duplicate side front and now call it a right. And I will take right, the pre-comp, and drop it inside the timeline. So right now is here. I need to move it, of course, to the other side. I will open position, press P, and move it like this. Okay, it's gonna be 640 minus 640 minus 200. That will do. Oops, in fact, it is plus 200. So it is 640 plus 200. It will come on this side. I will take the pan behind, take the anchor point and put it on the left side. Make it 3D, of course. Open the rotation. I'm gonna rotate it on the y-axis also. Let's try. Okay, it's this way. Fine, it is minus 90. Now let's look what we have done. Let's go to active camera and we say custom view. Cool, you notice you have a perfect, almost a perfect cube is coming up. So we have the three sides here. So we need to make the top, the bottom, and the back. Cool, let's go back to our normal view, active camera. We take the front side and duplicate it and call it, for example, we do the top. Take the top and drop it in. You see, now it became very easy, and I'm sure you already know how to continue this one. Press Y, get the anchor point, and take this one to the top. Fine, now I need to rotate it. I will open the rotation. Of course, I need to make it 3D. Notice I'm gonna rotate it on the x-axis. So this is the x-axis. It is rotating, fine. It should be plus 90 degrees. So I will write 90 degrees. I can check in my custom view. See, wow, it's working very fine. Cool. Now let's go back to the normal view. And we have done top. We can duplicate top and make it bottom. We take bottom and drop it inside. Fine. So bottom now, it did not drop like top. You know, it didn't copy the transformation. It really doesn't matter. We are going to take the pan behind and put it under. That is the bottom line. Open the rotation. We make it 3D. And we are going to rotate it on the x-axis. So we rotate it. Nope. The x-axis. Yes. So that's not the way. It is this way. And it's going to be minus 90. Okay, now we need the back side. So we take the front from here, we duplicate it, we call it a back. Take the back and drop it in. Cool, so the back is here. Now I can make it 3D first, open the position, and let's go to the custom view. See the back where it is. I want it behind. If I move X, Y, Z, I'm supposed to move the Z. You notice how it is. So I can move the Z, and of course I need to move it 200. As simple as this. Cool. So now I have my cube. If I come and choose the camera, and I can just look at my cube, how it's working. It's a perfect cube. Of course, I can come now, and what I'm supposed to do is pre-compose this to make a single cube that I can use. I will select them all, right click, go to pre-compose, and say cube. And let's say 3D. Irrelevant, the 3D. And we open. Here you are, we have our cube in this composition. So let's go back to the main composition cube. I'm gonna rename it because it's confusing with the other one. I will say main comp. Let's say comp. Okay, fine. Now I have the composition here, but you know, even if I put it in 3D, now look what's happening. It's not really good. We need to make it 3D. To make it 3D, you will come to comp collapse here, and you click it. Is like a wheel or something, and it becomes a 3D. So actually you look at it now, it's a 3D. If you take your camera tool, and you can see you have a perfect square or a perfect cube. Now there is another problem here. You notice the anchor point is not in the middle. We need to move the anchor point to be in the middle of the cube so we have good animation. How would you do that? You can start fiddling with the pan behind and take it behind, but it will not work. It will harass you. Believe me, that's experience. So what I will do, I'll just open the anchor point, and you know very well I'm gonna move it on the Z. So obviously in the middle there will be 100 pixels. So that's it. Now you have your cube that is rotating on its own center, if you notice. Of course, I can come and scale it up, and here you are. You have a perfect cube. That was pretty easy, by the way. In the next lecture, we are going to start animating the cube and creating the backgrounds. You notice here we have two backgrounds. They are very important, and we want to start creating them. It is not difficult, it's very easy, and I will show you the way, and it's gonna be, quite amazing. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next lecture.